You guys ready?
I got it.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so good evening. I'd like to call this January 4th, 22 special city council meeting to order. I would like to point out that this meeting is being hosted through live stream by Zoom teleconference. Deputy City Clerk, may we have a roll call?
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Brown?
Here.
Councilmember Krupa?
Here.
Councilmember Mills?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Meyer?
Here.
Mayor Lilienthal?
Here.
All members are present.
Okay, so the invocation is going to be done by Norman Kairos, and after which Councilmember Russ Brown will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mayor. Let's bow our heads and pray. Lord, well, we come to you at the beginning of a new year, and even though we're going to be bringing some of our issues into this year, we just ask that you just look over us, look over all of us, and just help us make sound decisions. And when we're governing our city, even sound decisions when we look to our family, talking to them. And I just, with all the things that we've gone through, just continue to ask your blessings. And we know that you are all knowing, all powerful, all seeing. And we just ask that you just look after us. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Okay, everyone please face the electronic version of our American flag and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So for those who don't know, there's a 3-minute per person time limit for all public comments on non-public hearing items, and all who wish to speak, including council members and staff, need to be recognized by the mayor before speaking. And for those who wish to speak or join by Zoom, you will be asked to raise your hand if you would like to speak. Please state your name and the item you are commenting on before speaking. And so we will take public comment for items listed on the agenda. Deputy City Clerk, are there any electronic comments?
We received no e-comments, Mayor, and we received no registered public comments. We do have a few members on the Zoom teleconference call. If anybody would like to speak during this time, please raise your hand and I'll unmute you. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. I'm seeing nobody raise their hand, Mayor, no registered public comment.
Okay, and none from the public?
No, sir.
So we'll move on to our first discussion item, which is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hemet, California, authorizing each eligible city employee to receive up to $5,000 in essential worker premium pay for a total cost of $1,190,000, and authorizing the finance director to establish a supplemental appropriation in support of this payment. Do we have a staff report for this?
Yeah, I'll provide this report. First off, all thanks obviously goes to the council for bringing this item up. Obviously, the city did receive about 21, or will be allocated about $21.7 million in American Rescue Plan Act funds. Of that, we've received half of that. One of the eligible expenses within the ARPA criteria is for premium pay related to employees that were involved with providing essential or mandatory work during the COVID pandemic. The item before you today allocates just over $1.1 million for up to $5,000 for essential work premium pay for the criteria of those individuals that work between March 16th, 2020 and March 15th, 2021. And so based on the criteria established by the council, those that have worked 1,000 hours or more are entitled to the $5,000. Those that did not work the 1,000 hours are entitled, but were still employed during that time, are entitled up to $2,500. As you can see, there were updated documents that were provided to the council just now. There was one bargaining group that had questions about a couple individuals, and we checked our records and ensured that those individuals were included in the updated dollar amount. So the item before you today is essentially to authorize the expenditure for the entire amount, which is listed as 1.152,500, and allows the finance director to record the appropriate budget measures to ensure that it is allocated in the budget, and so that finance can move forward on these payments. So that concludes the staff report for this item. Mayor, happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Chris. Is there any questions or comments from the council?
I have a comment. I think that it's always interesting, I think, as our city gets money from different agencies and then we get the opportunity to give it out. And so I think that the fact that we're given this opportunity to recognize our employees with this type of stipend, I guess, or whatever the government is calling this, but with this ARPA money is, I don't know, I hope it's encouraging to them because, you know, the whole calling people essential workers, you know, if you don't have, which one, right, is the wheel that gets to be missing? Well, then the entire clock doesn't work. So all of our employees make this city run. And so I want them to feel appreciated, at least from our council. So I'm glad that we're able to do something like this.
I do have a question. On the SEIU line for the non-general fund, non-ARPA funding. Not necessarily who, but how did that happen? I mean,
I actually looked at those today because finance asked. They are 3 admin employees who work out of Public Works, who telecommuted, so do not qualify under ARPA, but qualify for
okay,
the benefit.
very good. And then, so that kind of takes care of the next line that I was going to ask to do. So that's good. Yeah. And as Carla said, it's, you know, receiving these funds and being able to say thank you to all of those that were came to work, had to come to work, had to be in the public, and it's a small way of saying thank you.
And I'd also like to ditto Carly's comments about using the term essential and creating some kind of a bifurcation between essential and non-essential. I never liked that differential being made at the onset of dealing with the pandemic situation. Because as Carly says, all of the moving parts of the organization are critical. It just reminds me of a I don't know if it was a poem or a saying, but it said for lack of a nail, a shoe was lost, and for lack of a shoe, a horse was lost, and for lack of a horse, the battle was lost, and for lack of a battle being won, the war was lost. And so there's no small roles, there's no bit parts in the machinery of governance and public service. So I think it's important that all of our employees know that they're valued no matter what they're doing.
Like this is the definition of team right here, right? No I in team.
Yeah, exactly.
And they are aware that we're not using this as a tool for negotiations too, right? It's their money, they get it, and that's it.
So this is not subject to any negotiations. We did meet and confer, but that is the second item on the agenda tonight.
Any other comments?
Well, I'll move to approve 6A as presented. I'll second that.
Roll call.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Meyer, second by Councilmember Krupa. Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Krupa,
Yes.
Councilmember Mails,
Yes,
Mayor Pro Tem Meyer,
Yes.
Mayor Lilienthal.
Yes.
That motion passes 5-0.
Next item is 6B. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Hammett, California, authorizing the city manager to sign side letter agreements between the Hammett Firefighters Association, Hammett Police Officers Association, Hammett Police Management Association, Hammett Non-Sworn Police Employee Association, Service Employees International Union, and Hammett Mid Managers Association, providing essential worker premium pay and providing the same premium pay for eligible non-represented employees. Do we have a staff report for this item?
Thank you, Mayor. So on this item, this is kind of a supplemental item with the first item. As I mentioned previously, based on Councilmember Mails' question, this did require a meet and confer with all of our bargaining groups to ensure that the criteria that was established, the mechanism by which it would be paid out was all in agreement with our bargaining groups. As a result of all those discussions with our bargaining groups, we have all of our bargaining groups that agree to the same criteria, which was great to see. And so we've received the okay and the blessing of all of our bargaining groups. So this item, essentially, Mayor and Council, is to authorize the city manager to sign those side letters to allow us to then provide the payment that was specified in item number 1. So this item is a complementary item to the first item, and this will ensure that all of our bargaining groups have had a chance to provide input, feedback, and then commentary. And based on that feedback, they've all agreed to that. So this essentially is the authorization for me to sign those side letters. And I can't reiterate enough, the thanks goes to the council for directing this and for getting this done. So again, on behalf of all the employees that did work during this time, much appreciation to the entire council for taking this up and for providing the direction on this. So thank you, Mayor.
Thanks for your presentation. Is that it?
That's it, Mayor.
Any comments?
Yes, just a question. Are we going to get a sample copy of the side letter that goes to all of the union groups, labor groups?
So if you look at the backup, that is actually all of the side letters that were provided to the bargaining groups. I think there's about 7 attachments or so.
mhm.
And so those are all the exact language that was
Are
approved.
you going to update that online with the new software?
Yeah, so we'll
Okay.
update the one that was changed was the first item. So we'll update that item, but the side letters are all inclusive here. What we will do is once we have the signed agreements from all of the bargaining groups and then our office, we will upload those to the city's website once they've been executed. So we will include them online as well.
I think it's pretty exciting to see like unanimous. I mean, it's not every day that your city government gets to give you money, especially in Hemet, right? It looks like unheard of. So I'm glad to see that everybody was happy to participate.
Where's the signing gonna take
Right.
place? The signing of
So
side letters.
it'll probably be a DocuSign digital signature that gets
Oh,
routed
gotcha.
to the different representatives from the bargaining
Okay.
groups.
I was thinking like the president when he signs stuff, they gather and stuff. Eddie George there.
Oh my gosh. If there's no other comments, can we get a motion? Or do you have?
Oh, no, I just, ready to make a motion to
Yeah.
approve the staff recommendation.
I'll second that.
Motion by Councilmember Brown, second by Mayor Pro Tem Meyer. Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Krupa,
Yes.
Councilmember Mails,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Meyer,
Yes.
Mayor Lilienthal.
Yeah,
That motion passes 5-0.
all right. There being no further business, this meeting is adjourned to the next city council meeting on Tuesday, January 11th. Thank you for joining us tonight.